Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, January 20th, 2020, and this is episode 428 of The Daily Dope. If this is your first time popping in, let me point out that this is a very, very casual show. It is just a discussion about the latest tabletop gaming news for the most part. Every once in a while, talk a little bit, maybe PC games, sometimes a little pop culture references as well. But all in all, it is certainly not any sort of brain surgery by any stretch of the imagination. So, anyway, do want to point out, if you like the video, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because not only will it notify you when the Daily Dope goes live, it'll also tell you when I upload my standalone videos, such as my first looks and unboxings and reviews and interviews and convention coverage, and I think you get the idea. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. All right. Also, because this is a live stream, that also means that there is chat available on YouTube. If you are watching live and you'd like to take part in chat, please do. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to the chat. Sometimes it does zip by pretty quickly. But if you happen to have a question, comment, fire away. If you just want to say howdy, by all means, say hello, and I will do my best to respond. All right, so it's a brand new week. See what's cooking here. And strangely enough, I don't see anybody popped up in chat yet, which is a little unusual. Usually have at least one or two people already saying hello. So before I get into the news and talk about some other things tonight, here we go. There we go. We got people popping up. All right, I was about to go head over to take a look at YouTube, the live stream, which I never actually have up, to see if chat was working. But it looks like we do have chat. So Kabuki Kid is in the house, and Nightaloth, who I want to say is new to visiting the channel. Welcome aboard. We've got a little bit of chat going, so cool deal. So I got a few things I'm going to talk about tonight. Not anything critically insane or anything like that, but I do have some cool news as well. Do want to mention, and I will bring this up again later on in the show, there's probably not going to be an episode tomorrow night because of a memorial service. And I don't think I will have enough time to put together a show tomorrow. So we will see. We'll find out. I was going to jokingly say that, no, there won't be a show tomorrow because I've been called as a witness in the impeachment trial in Washington that kicks off. And I thought, I don't know. I don't know how funny that would be. So, especially when I would have to say, well, it's actually because there's a memorial service, So I didn't. I didn't go there. Although I just said it, so I guess I did go there, didn't I? Anywho, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I didn't get anything done, unfortunately. I did get one thing done, and I will talk about that after we jump into the news. So let me grab a quick sip here. I made some changes to, so Kabuki Kid's laughing at the impeachment witness. Yeah, I thought it would be okay, and then I was like, but then I gotta say, no, that's not really it. I'm going to a memorial service, so then it's not as funny. So, but yeah, it is kind of goofy. I'm kind of weird. What can I tell you? What was I starting to say? And all of a sudden, I see the impeachment witness thing pop up. I got really nothing done this weekend, unfortunately. But hopefully everybody else had a great weekend. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump on into the news, because I got a bit. Got some unusual stuff, too. So first off, there is a new edition of the tongue-in-cheek Cryptozoic Entertainment fantasy deck-building game Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards. Say that 5 times fast. In fact, say that 5 times fast and add on to that Annihilageddon. Yes, because this is Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Annihilageddon. And I've got the dope. Revisit the world of Epic Spell Wars. Mercilessly attack your foes and kill them over and over. And over. Take advantage of your wizard's special ability tile and familiar card that only you can buy. It's an all-out battle to the death for the Annihilageddon trophy in the crazy world of Epic Spell Wars. Well, fully compatible with other Cerberus Engine releases, Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Annihilageddon deck-building game features a whole new world of mayhem. Literally. Mayhem events, familiars, past champions, wizards, spells, creatures, treasure, and wild magic. It all adds up to an epic Spell Wars experience unlike anything you've seen before. And fans of the series have seen a lot. Yeesh. The Epic Spell Wars world you love now in deck building form. Mercilessly attack your foes and kill them over and over and over and over. Take advantage of your wizard's special ability tile and the familiar that only you can possess. This game is for 2 to 5 players, ages 15 and up, plays in around 60 to 90 minutes, does carry an MSRP of $40. I believe this is out now. I'm not positive. I think it is out now. I have never played Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards. It's what it is. Elliot, back when he was part of the gaming gang, he did review the first release. He liked it. He thought it was fun. Thought it was pretty funny too. And I do want to point out this is kind of for a more mature audience. That's why it's ages 15 and up. There's some inappropriate, I guess, language maybe, some inappropriate artwork possibly. But it's supposed to be fairly tongue-in-cheek. So, I don't know. I thought I'd share it. I get a kick out of the artwork. I think the artwork's kind of funny. Moving right along. Oh, actually, so I see that Kabuki Kid mentioned that they had an opportunity to play some Dungeons and Dragons yesterday. Very cool. I did not get any gaming in whatsoever. None. Zero. I was hoping to get some in this weekend too. Don't know. We'll have to see. Moving right along, Pandasaurus Games has officially revealed Sonora, and I've got the dope. You've entered the Sonoran Desert, a place of vast beauty. Technicolor sunsets pop out over vistas, revealing deep canyons, trickling tributaries, and ancient Pueblo cliff dwellings. Immerse yourself in the secrets of the desert in this delectably fun flick and right, where cunning and dexterity meet. In Sonora, players flick wooden discs onto a game board representative of the different vibrant landscapes across the Sonoran sands. Each area encompasses a different unique game, so skillful aim is required to play in the region of a player's choosing. But watch out for other players eager to bump discs, womp womp, to score points for themselves. Each quadrant on the board is a scoring zone with a corresponding spot on the score sheet and is represented by a desert animal. Top left zone on the score sheet is the Cliff Dweller Ruins and is represented by the lizard. This zone scores with all players competing to be the first to complete each of the different ruins. The top right zone is the canyon and is represented by the fox. This zone scores by drawing shapes matching the value of the discs. The bottom left zone is the creek bed and is represented by the owl. This zone scores by moving through a number of spaces matching the value of the discs. The bottom right zone is the desert mud cracks and is represented by the rabbit. This zone scores by filling in nodes in the cracks using the total value from the discs. More gameplay info is included in a special video that Pandasaurus has released, or I believe is going to be released. There's also a solo mode for the game as well. Sonora is a gorgeous game with tons of depth in decisions. As mentioned, Sonora is for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, plays around 30 to 45 minutes, will carry an MSRP of $30 when it arrives in the spring. I have to say, I believe it's going to be May. And the reason why I say this is not the first time I've talked about this game. So it was just a few weeks ago that I had shared a news piece. I put it up on the website, and Pandasaurus Games contacted me and asked me to take it down because they weren't ready to reveal the game yet to the public, but they had revealed the information to distributors, and that's where I get a lot of my gaming news sometimes. Well, most of the time. I would say probably 50% of the gaming news that I share actually is information that's been shared with distributors. I don't get my gaming news from like Board Game Geek and things like that. I actually usually am ahead of the curve on a lot of this news. So, all right. Anyway, so Kabuki Kid is mentioning that it's Flick and Right may be a first. I believe this is. I believe this is the first Flick and Right game that has ever been done. So, looks kind of interesting. We do actually have a little more information than we did previously, especially like that score sheet. We now have an image of what that score sheet looks like. Previously, all we had really was the box cover and the little area where you're flicking the discs. So, No Enemies Here is in chat. Wow, that name sounds familiar. I wonder, it's been a long time since we saw No Enemies Here. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Good to see you popping in. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the latest release from GMT Games. It is now available. It is shipping out. I believe it's shipping out to people who have already reserved it on the P500. But the second edition of Next War Korea is available. I've got the dope. From Pyongyang in North Korea to Busan in the south, the war rages. In a scene reminiscent of the first attack by the Inmingun in 1950, the North Korean People's Army surges across the demilitarized zone and penetrates deep into South Korea. Special operations forces from both sides conduct raids, interdiction, and reconnaissance missions behind enemy lines, while airborne, air assault, and amphibious forces strike far behind those lines, attempting to outflank the main army forces of both sides. In the air, both sides wage a heated campaign in an effort to establish superiority over the skies of Korea. With rough terrain and the full ferocity of modern armor, air mobile, airborne, and marine warfighting capabilities, there is no safe haven in the lethal cauldron of battle which has engulfed the Korean peninsula. While North and South battle for a quick, decisive victory, the world awaits the response of the two military superpowers in the region, the United States of America and the People's Republic of China. Will the United States, stung by high casualties among the soldiers of its 2nd Infantry Division near the DMZ during the surprise artillery barrages and initial assaults on the first day of the war, be able to reinforce the South quickly enough, and if so, how and in what strength? Will the Communist Chinese again react to a massive U.S. response and intervene, thus widening the conflict? As the situation evolves, choices are made, forces are committed, and the security of Japan and the future of the two Koreas hangs in the balance. This reprint edition will include all known errata, including counters, as well as updated counters for the US, Chinese, Russian, and Japanese orders of battle. The map will change slightly as we bring both the bridging rules from Next War India-Pakistan back to this game, which necessitates noting which hex sides can't be bridged, as well as defining beaches and invasion hexes a la Next War Taiwan, which actually takes us back to the original Crisis Korea 1995 map. The series rules and player aid cards will be brought up to the latest standards, and of course, the game's specific rules will have to be changed to incorporate all the above. So this is not a second printing, this is a second edition of Next War Korea. The game is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 2 hours or more, far more than that, depending on what scenario you're playing. Also does carry an MSRP of $85. As I mentioned with any of the GMT releases, if this is something that you're moderately interested in, look at getting it pretty soon because it will sell out. I know the original edition sold out pretty quickly. I reviewed it. It was a little too much, in my opinion, just for me, right? I'm not talking about the groyals out there. I'm talking about me. I found it a little too crunchy, a little too kind of real traditional sort of war game. I mean, it was good. It just wasn't something that was going to get to the table a whole lot. But I know a lot of people dug this, the original edition, and now this second edition cleans some things up and adds new aspects to the game design as well. So a Gray Day is in chat. Good to see you, a Gray Day. And anyway, so it's crunchy. Yeah. So Dan says, it's crunchy. I'm getting too old, man. Yeah, it is. Like I said, I reviewed it and I was like, if I remember correctly, without jumping onto the website and taking a look, I think I gave it somewhere around like an 8. Because, I mean, I could see a lot of people would dig it. There's just too many games out there that are just real traditional kind of hex and counter stuff. That I like to play stuff that's a little unique, a little different. So, moving right along, let's talk a little role-playing game action. Seeing that Kabuki Kid got to play some Dungeons & Dragons this weekend. Sweet. I haven't gotten to run my Call of Cthulhu mess, and they out Lothotep again. Blame Elliot Miller. All I can tell you, blame my best friend who just never seems to be available. Don't know what to tell you. Anyway, currently up for crowdfunding on Kickstarter is a pretty interesting looking bestiary for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. See, I can say the Dungeons & Dragons part. They can only say the 5th edition or 5e part. It is from Cawood Publishing. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I've got the dope on Monsters of the City, Sins and Virtues. 7 sins, 7 virtues, and 7 districts in the city. Now it's time to choose a side. This book will contain 100 new 5e monsters, approximately 130 pages. A district page with additional lore and tables will begin each section. There will also be encounter tables, adventure hooks, GM advice, events tables, locations tables, CR and creature type listings, and more. Challenge rating, I should say, instead. In case you're wondering what CR is. Each district will contain 2 legendary monsters that represent one of the sins and one of the virtues. Monsters in the book include devils, demons, celestials, fae, undead, constructs, oozes, giants, and many humanoids. In fact, 3 new races of humanoids will be introduced. The book is soft cover to begin with. There is a stretch goal to make this a hardcover version. Travis Hansen also happens to be the illustrator. They are an Eisner-nominated illustrator, and they happen to be the creator of the RPG comic Life of the Party, The Bean, and many other games and books. He was also the illustrator for the first 2 books in the Monster series, Monsters of Feyland and Monsters of the Underworld. There is a very short Kickstarter video, and when I say it is very short, I mean it is less than a minute. So let's take a very quick peek. Currently, Monsters of the City is past the halfway point to meeting their funding goal, and you can score the supplement as a PDF for a $16 pledge, or you can get the physical book, maybe a soft cover, maybe a hardcover, we don't know just yet, but you can score that for a $29 pledge through February 12th. The expected delivery is actually this November, so a relatively quick turnaround for a physical RPG book, so I like seeing that. I always hate when I see Kickstarters that sit there and say, well, yeah, it'll be delivering in July of 2021. It's like, what are you planning on doing between now and then? So I see that we do have someone from Cawood Publishing. I don't know, maybe I'm pronouncing that correctly, maybe not. Who's hanging out in chat as well. Kabuki Kids talking about they were playing first edition AD&D. Yes, a little old school with a little B/X mixed in for flavor, I see. So very cool. A Grade A is mentioning that N-World has their most anticipated RPGs for 2020 up. And I don't know. I like N-World, but whenever you've got somebody who is actually a publisher as well, you got to take what they say about the hobby with a grain of salt. I'm not saying anything. I mean, N-World's a good site. I like N-World. Who's the other one? RPG Net. I think it's pretty decent. Although I think RPG Net, the issue that I've got with them is they sort of just let like anybody review stuff, and you can kind of tell sometimes that you've got people who are just shilling a product on RPG Net. Me personally, I don't know. I would kind of be a little more selective on who I would allow to do reviews. Speaking of reviews, we also have. I got to get it up tonight. I know that sounded weird. I need to post the review tonight that Sammy did for what is it? Asbu's Bounty. It's the first like major adventure for the Expanse role-playing game from Green Ronin. She loves it. I'm going to give you a little preview. She thought it's fantastic. She really dug the Expanse as well. So, which I love the show. I like the series of books as well. I have not dug into the RPG. All right, so we were just talking about a bestiary that looks very cool. This it does look very interesting. And the fine folks over at Cawood Publishing, once again, hopefully pronouncing that correctly, had forwarded on their first two monster books in PDF for me to take a peek at. So much appreciated. Really do like that. Although I do not review the PDFs. PDF reviews go out to one of my correspondents. So I only do reviews of the physical items. So a Grade A mentions that Dune was the... Oh, okay, so it was voter generated? Okay, we're okay then. As far as the most anticipated RPGs. So I was going to say, I could just imagine where it's like, oh, the number one anticipated RPG is coming from N Publishing. Yeah, it's like, okay. Although their stuff is supposed to be pretty good. Anyway, Dune was number one. Yes, Dune from our friends over at Modifius Entertainment. Who keep sending me PDFs. And I keep mentioning, I don't do the reviews on those. So it's like, you're in the queue now. If you send me a physical book, it's like, boom, a lot of times I can shoot a video the day it actually shows up in the mail. So, all right. Anyway, we were just talking about a pretty cool bestiary that is up on Kickstarter. I'm going to talk about a huge bestiary release, which is, some of it's already published. The rest is on the horizon, coming from Infinium Game Studio, I believe is how it's pronounced. I've got the dope on Aqualay. Oh, wait, well, see, that's what happens when I jump back to look at, to like go big with me. End up hitting the wrong damn news button. Anyway, so I've got the dope on Aqualay, or Aqualay. I'm going to say it's Aqualay. Bestiary of the Realm. This listing represents a massive bookshelf of bestiary content. 9 volumes well over, get ready for this, 4,500 pages containing 1,600 monsters and 6,400 stat blocks. Or if I could say 6,400 stat blocks. No, that is not a typo. 4,500 pages. 1,600 monsters across 6,400 stat blocks. Basically, everything ever published for Pathfinder 1st Edition, converted painstakingly to Pathfinder 2nd Edition parlance and mechanics. This is also available for 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons. This is insane. As Kevin Thorpe has popped into chat, he's like, 1,600 beasties. Yikes. I know. It is crazy. Anyway, the bookshelf listing is for those who know they definitely want to own the entire collection, want to save some money, and want to receive each component the very instant it's completed and available. As of this writing, which this is their sell sheet info, right? Not me. Please note the publication status of the contents of this bookshelf. All remaining volumes will be completed and published in 2020 at a rate of approximately one per month. There is one that is out already. So there is one of these Beast Series, Volume 1, the Bestiary of the Realm, is available both for Pathfinder as well as 5th Edition. Acolyte Bestiary of the Realm is the largest, most comprehensive, most flexible, and most ambitious fantasy role-playing bestiary ever conceived. Here we go. Here's these numbers again. 6,400 complete stat blocks comprising 1,600 monsters, each given the quadded stat block treatment, enabling them to be used in any campaign setting with PCs of any level. Add to this a thoroughly innovative and massively expandable AI system to guide monster behavior, and you have what just might be the most impressive and valuable creature resource ever to hit Pathfinder and 5th Edition. Their words, not mine. Just pointing that out. Do want to note, the Bestiary of the Realm in its entirety is a 6-volume set. The first volume is also available. It contains 1,064 stat blocks comprising 266 monsters. This book is intended to be any or all of the following: an authoritative listing of monsters for use in any campaign setting for adventuring parties of any size and any level, a means of using any existing monster with adventures of any level and difficulty, a compendium of newly created monsters born of inspiration from existing beasties you may already know and love, a single source reference and repository listing every single possible monster in easy-to-reference alphabetical order. This massive 4,560-page undertaking is available for either 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder, including 1st and 2nd editions, in PDF from DriveThruRPG for $180. So I guess it's going to have kind of like, I guess it's like a retail value $350. So if you sign up and you get all of the books, you will get them for $180. So we're looking at, there's 6, plus I think there's a big index book. So really 7 volumes. I don't know. But a grade A does bring up a good question. What is going to be the art to text ratio in these books? I would take a stab. Probably low. I would think there's probably maybe one image, maybe for each creature. Maybe not even an image for every single one. But yeah, I just want to show it. Yes, I know. Great. I got enough beasties on my bookshelf. No reason to spend $180. I completely understand. I just wanted to share this news because I thought it was interesting. I thought, this is a hell of an undertaking, right? So, anyway, of course, I am talking about DriveThruRPG and the Daily Dope And of course, the Gaming Gang are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to swing over to, say, DriveThruRPG or Dungeon Masters Guild or Wargame Vault, by all means, please swing over to thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase, I get a little piece of that sale. Very little. But I always say, I appreciate everybody out there who does that for me, because month in, month out, they effectively do help pay for the hosting of the Gaming Gang site, which I said it all the time. I don't have GoDaddy hosting. It's like $65 a month for the hosting for the website, which is actually due tomorrow. So I gotta go remember to pay that tonight. All right, so that is it for the news. So a Grade A was talking about Dune. I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be very, very cool. What I'm kind of curious about is, do they focus mainly on just Frank Herbert's work? Or do they focus as well on his son? Gosh, now I can't remember his son's name. And the co-author who have done a lot of Dune books since Frank Herbert passed away. Because I'm probably going to show my ignorance here, but isn't Godchildren of Dune the final book that Frank Herbert did? And if I remember right, I don't think it was all that well received by reviewers. I don't know. I got to be honest, I've never read it. I read the first 3 Dune books, and even by the 3rd book, I was kind of starting to lose a little bit of interest. So I gotta say, it's Modiphius. We know it's going to be pretty cool. They do really good work. Probably be a little more pricey than we want it to be. It's kind of how Modiphius is getting. Yes, so Dan says God Emperor was that was a God Emperor of Dune. Why was I thinking Godchildren? Yeah, what can I tell you? It was, 30-some years ago? Yeah. How come that's not right at the top of your memory there, Jeff? Jeez. All right, so anyway. The new issue of Yeah Magazine arrived. Let's, there we go. Get rid of some of that glare. So this came in the mail today. So I think on Wednesday, we will actually do a live page through of issue 13 of Yeah Magazine. And I promise I will only do it once. I will only do the one time, okay? So this also includes the Battle of Hue, ! So we will take a look at that. So yeah, let's do something a little bit different, right? For a Wednesday show. It'll be a Wargame Wednesday. So we'll take a peek. I'll share that. I know Eddie Carlson over at Flying Pig Games had emailed and said, hey, they put a lot of work into this issue. They're really proud of it. So we will show it off. So if you're around on Wednesday, by all means, please swing in, check it out. Also, as I mentioned, there will not be a show tomorrow. I'm 99% positive no show tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter, and then you'll know. I try early afternoon to tweet out what's the news being, or at least the companies I'm covering on that evening's show. So if you don't see one pop up, there's no show tomorrow. But of course, I will be back on Wednesday. It's because of the memorial service. Like I said, I'm not sure if I will be back in time to actually throw together a show. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out is I ordered a new laptop, which strangely enough, Walmart, and it's weird. I got it through Walmart. I know, but bear with me for a second. I will tell you what this thing is and what it came out to. And then you'll be like, okay, I guess I understand this. So anyway, I have been on the lookout for a laptop that I can stream from. But I need to have some GPU horsepower to be able to do, say, 2 cameras as far as a stream, right? And I got a really nice i7 Lenovo Yoga 2, I think it is. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough horsepower for me to do a stream. Is what I want to, and render video and stuff like that, because as convention season is coming up, I really, really do want to try to be able to get more stuff out there the day it happens, right? If I do an interview with somebody at Gen Con, I'd like to be able to upload that video, have it rendered, and upload it that night or at least the next morning, as opposed to when, say, we go to like San Diego Comic-Con, I don't get to post anything from Comic-Con until I get back. And usually I'm pretty burned out the first day back. So usually it's not until the next Tuesday that things start going up. And this year we're actually staying at the Embassy Suites right down the street. I mean, within walking distance from the convention center. So that's awesome. So yes, so I ordered this laptop. So the laptop, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a rundown. And then you could go, you got it from Walmart? You ordered it from Walmart? So it is an i7 9th generation, 6 core. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has 6 gig NVIDIA 2060 GPU. It is a 1 terabyte solid state drive, which I did read that the solid state drive is not the greatest. It's not the fastest out there. But one of the awesome things about this laptop is you can actually crack it open from below, from underneath. And there's an extra bay for another solid state drive. You can upgrade the memory, which, come on, 16 gigs. I mean, I can render video pretty well on 16 gigs, right? It's not like I'm rendering film, right? It's just vids. It's got a 144 hertz monitor, so that's one hell of a refresh rate. It is a true 1080p. It's not 4K, but it is true 1080p. Unlike a lot of these laptops you see where it's like high def, but it's not really 1080p high def. So, and it's just loaded down with like peripherals. There's one USB 3C. So that's like the newest of the USB connectors. There's 3 USB 3 ports. There's a USB 2 port. There's an HDMI out. There are 2 micro HDMI outputs as well. So, I mean, it's like $999. And it is through, I guess, it's effectively a company that's been set up to make laptops and computers exclusively for Walmart. But effectively, they're these Chinese laptop chassis that a bunch of companies sell. So, anyway, from what I was looking at, it was like, we're talking like $1,800, $2,000 laptop. If I went through, say, well, if it was like Alienware, it'd have been like $2,200. And I actually saw some reviews, and people were saying, wow, this is, they were amazed by this. So, that is actually supposed to show up tomorrow. And of course, I have to sign for it. But I thought it was funny because Walmart's, they emailed me saying, oh, you know, part of your order's shipped. Because I got a 3-year accident warranty on it too. But it said, oh, yes, it's shipped. And then it gives you a tracking number. And then it was saying it'll arrive tomorrow. And then I look at FedEx and I look at the tracking number, and the tracking number says by the end of today. But all it says is that the shipping label was printed. So I'm like, I don't think it's coming by the end of today. So anyway, when that shows up, I will show that off a little bit. Also, the other thing too is that there are some PC games that I would like to share reviews of. This will make it a little easier for me to do that as well. So anyway, that is what is cooking so far as how I've been spending my time. And I've been reading some RPG stuff, but won't reveal any of that yet. So anyway, so I should have some videos popping up this week. Like I said, things have been kind of crazy with my aunt passing away. So see what's going on, see what happens. But I will do my best to get some new video up there. So what PC game is taking up my time now? There's a few. I don't get to play PC games as much as I would like. So that question was from A Gray Day. If you are watching and there's no chat. See, sometimes people go, geez, Jeff, how come? Night, see you, Kevin. Kevin Thorpe is taking off. Some people ask me as far as how come sometimes I say who says something in chat, and I point out that there are people out there who watch the show on their televisions, they watch it on their phones, on their tablets. They watch on devices that they don't have access to the chat. It doesn't show the chat. So that's why I kind of mention, oh, hey, so-and-so's here and so-and-so's here. And, this is what Dan from No Enemies Here asked. What PC game's taking up my time now? I have been messing around. Yes, I have. I mess around with Stardew Valley a little bit. Usually for like an hour a night. Nothing crazy. Wildermyth, I've been playing around. That's the game that I would like to actually share a review of, because it is a very unique kind of RPG, kind of a little bit almost like a little roguelike. It's got a very interesting art style to it as well. And it wouldn't be a very good review if I'm just sharing, images and stuff while I'm talking. So I've been playing quite a bit of that as well, and a little bit of Frostpunk. So anyway, but this laptop I'm getting is it's a gaming laptop, so it will actually be much better than the computer I've got set up down here in the Duct Tape Studios, because this is just an i5 that I do the stream on. But I do have a rocking video card and things like that in it. And what do I have? Like 24 gigs of memory. So not too shabby. All right, that is it for tonight's show. I've been babbling on long enough. As I mentioned, 99% chance that there is no show tomorrow. So follow me on Twitter at The Gaming Gang, and you will know. And, so A Gray Day says I should play Star Citizen. I don't know. I mean, I know about Star Citizen. It's just, Chris Roberts did some awesome games back in the day, but that thing has been funding forever, and there's like another lawsuit going on, or it's like, I stay away from that kind of stuff. Anyway, as I mentioned, 99% chance, probably no show tomorrow. So follow me on Twitter, and if you don't see something pop up saying, hey, I'm talking about blah, 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 blah tonight, there's no show. Anyway, I will be back on Wednesday regardless. All right, so if you do like this video, by all means, please give it a thumbs up. Fight those trolls out there. Damn you trolls. And subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you of when the Daily Dope goes live, it'll also tell you when I upload my standalone videos, such as my reviews and first looks and page throughs and so on. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody who hung out on a Monday night in chat, thank you very much. Always appreciate folks keeping me company. Then again, if you watch after the fact, maybe you're watching on Memorex, I really appreciate that as well. I appreciate anybody who takes some time out to watch the show. Really, really do appreciate your kind words and thoughts that you send along all the time. And of course, like I said, probably no show tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday. And until then, happy trails. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.